Namaste, everybody. Oop, gotta get the radio off. Anyhow, namaste. How's my Zen zebras doing? My namaste ninjas, my merry mermaids, my merry mermen. Just I had to switch my bracelet. Howlite. Okay. I'm in the car and I been thinking a lot about unique unicorns. Dream makers. Okay. I think that's, and Bella butterflies. I said that. Mermaids and zebras. Okay. Anyway, I've been in the car. Yeah, I got a skeleton shirt on today. Raise your vibration. Raise your vibration. I don't like when people say that too much. I don't know. It annoys me. Okay. I don't know. It's kind of like it's just like if you're worried about something and you want to bitch and complain about something or cry about something, I think you should. Okay? You shouldn't have to be like pushed down with the almighty hammer of, let's not think about that or complain about that you're worried about, because let's raise our vibration. Let's keep the vibration up. When you really think about it, you can't keep your vibration up unless you've dealt with what's making you feel low vibration, what is making you feel sad, what is making you feel bad, what is making you feel confused, what is making you feel empty, what is making you feel overwhelmed, what is making you feel stressed. Only then, after we've expressed it and used our chakra, our throat chakra and our third eye chakra, really thinking about it, now crown chakra, then we could start working on raising your vibration. But it's like having a problem and you go to tell your parents your problem, right? Or you go to tell your friend or your sibling, hey, I got this problem that's really causing me a lot of sadness. It's really causing me a lot of stress and worry. And they say, don't even think about it. Just raise your vibration. Keep that vibration high, right? Doesn't make any sense, all right? It's just like telling somebody to shut up their feelings, shut down what you were going to talk about, what you were worried about. Okay, and I'm not all for that. I am all for raising your vibration once you have discovered what is causing you to feel bad and to lower your vibration in the first place. Okay, I didn't come on to talk about that. Check out this. Can you see this bird over here? Bird. You were just over there. Now I don't think you could see him, can you? There he is. There's a few of them. You're probably like, I don't want to look at the bird, Katrina. Katrina. I'm in an annoying mood because I'm getting ready to do my walk. But before I do my walk, I decided I have to talk about Matthew Perry. Okay? There's been a lot of people that did reads on him. And I was sitting in my car, and I always have a bag of cards in my car. All right? I have loads of cards in my car. And so I was writing his name down. If you don't believe me, Katrina doesn't lie. Katrina doesn't lie. I'm in a weird mood. Okay. Let me take a sip of Diet Coke. Okay. So, yeah, I wanted this this video, and then I might come back and talk about housekeeping, things coming up, things that I want to put on my docket to do, and announcements and whatnots. But I want this to be Matthew Perry. I've been hearing the word Michael, the name Michael. When I did a reading for the reading I did last Saturday, I think it was, or Sunday, I kept hearing Michael. Now, I know that's my nephew's name. It's his middle name, Sean Michael Rispoli. But they said, no, his name starts as Michael. So there might be something going on with somebody named Michael out there. I know that sounds very, all right, I'm just going to say somebody that's kind of famous that is named Michael, I feel like they're going to be in the news. Maybe not for a good reason. In other words, kind of like Matthew Perry type of thing. But I'm getting Michael. I keep on saying Michael Perry instead of Matthew Perry. And I don't know if that was his father's name. I don't think so. But anyhow. So when I was shuffling my cards to ask questions and I was trying to tap in to Matthew Perry's energy so I could channel him, right? I do that. Some people forgot that I do that, okay? But I do that, all right? It's just so sometimes I have to be in the mood. And for the last, I would say 4 days, I have had a migraine that has not gone away. I just figured it was because it was raining a few days ago, but it hasn't been raining lately. And when it's not raining and I get a migraine, then I worry, what is trying to come out? Or what am I worried about? And I'm always worried. I'm always like, will my artwork sell? Will I get readings to do? Will my 1010 pick up? Will, everything pick up? Will anybody be found who I was looking for in the missing? So there's always things up in the noggin. Will I be able to clean up the house before the holidays? Things that we all worry about, and then some things that psychics worry about, and artists, anyhow. But I couldn't think of what it was. I was talking to Devin about it. I was just like, I don't know if I have anything on my head. Right now, it hurts on my crown chakra right here. And I did pull out some affirmations, and I was looking at them, and they were saying, there's something on your mind that you need to get out. So then I asked my angels, because last night I took Excedrin, and Excedrin always works for me. That was like my go-to. I've taken muscle relaxers and they don't work. Sometimes turmeric works, so I have to try that again. But anyhow, 7 minutes in. But I took my Excedrin last night because it was so many hours that I had this headache. I did have 2 glasses of wine at dinner, but then I had water. I had seltzer and I had water. I didn't continue drinking. I wanted to, okay? But I didn't. I had enough knowledge not to, because I really hated the clamp on my head that's coming back. So then I thought maybe I didn't have enough caffeine. Because sometimes I'm addicted to caffeine. I have to have 3 cups, okay? Or a soda that has caffeine. So, anyhow, I've had a lot of coffee today. Not a lot, but I had 2.5 cups. And then I'm having the soda, but I still have the headache. So then I said, okay, what's on my mind? Matthew Perry. I almost called him Michael. And I'm pretty sure I don't think he has any brothers or sisters that are in heaven. And I don't think his middle name was Michael, because it was Langsford, something with the L, right? Matthew Langsford Perry. Okay, so I was shuffling the cards in the car, and I said, maybe if I get my Matthew Perry thing out of the way, then my head will feel better, right? So I started asking him to come. I started asking him to at least talk to my spirit guides if he didn't want to come straight to me. But I started hearing him, because there's a lot of videos of him. And so what I do to tap in is I watch the videos and the bloopers and I used to watch Friends, and he was one of my favorites. He definitely was one of my favorites of the guys, besides Joey, but Chandler was first. So I started asking, like, was your death foul play? Because they said it wasn't. And I didn't feel it was. And a lot of readers are saying it was. Okay. I can only tell you what I feel. And just same thing with, what was his name? What is his name? Aaron Carter. Okay. I did a couple of videos on him. And I was like, that came out of left field because I didn't really watch him. And, but he was a Scorpio and he was born the day before my daughter's birthday. So I'm pretty sure. Oh no, actually he was December, I think December 6th or December 7th. Okay, so sorry about that. And he didn't make it to his birthday. The reason why I associated my daughter's birthday is because I was visiting her last year for her birthday. And wish I was there now. And I was visiting her, and that's when it happened. Okay, Aaron Carter passed away then, and a lot of people thought it was foul play. And no, I never thought it was foul play. What it was is he was huffing paint cans or spray cans. It's called huffing, and he did that. And I don't know if he took a pill or not, but he did the cans and he went into the jacuzzi or the bathtub. Yeah, and he passed away in there. He drowned in there. And like people are gonna say, what they feel. If they think there was foul play, they accuse a girlfriend of doing it or having somebody to go over there and do it, or other people. And I'm just telling you what I get, okay? So, Matthew Perry. When I asked him, and I was doing the cards, and the cards were not coming out like I did 2 different decks. Actually did 3 different decks. And then I heard, just do it from you. Just do it from your head. Just do your own words. Okay? So then I said, I just want to have some cards over here that I pull for you. And he was like, that's okay, but do it from you. I'll talk directly through you. I'll talk directly to you. So when I asked him, I said, thank you so much, because he's very cordial. He's very respectful type of person. And he's like, and he kind of made me a little bit sad because he said, I have the same thing that your father has, or your father had. And I was like, do you see my father there in heaven? And he was like, yeah, he's a nice guy. It's a disease. And he had not only the disease of alcoholism, but he also took pills on top of that. He took like sometimes 30 or more Vicodin a day. And he's showing me that he had a chance. He goes, Katrina, I had several chances to continue my life. And the last time he was in the hospital, he showed me 2018 to 2019, he said was very important. But he said, when he went in a coma, he had like he had pancreatitis, and he had perforated intestines, right? Let me shut my air off because it's getting cold. Perforated intestines. And what happens is, alcohol affects your brain, affects your liver, affects your heart, right? Smoking affects your heart, and lungs. All right. I'm pretty sure he used to smoke too. But when you take pills, opioids, they affect of course, your brain and your liver, but they affect your intestines because you get constipated and you cannot go to the bathroom, and you get backed up and you just don't go to the bathroom. And then some of them make you not hungry. So that's why he lost a lot of weight. in a lot of the shows, you'll see him like really skinny, like he looks like a pencil, and that's not normal. And, a lot of people saw him, and he said the one that was the best to him, to call him out, was Jennifer Aniston. And a little bit of Courtney Cox and the boys, but sometimes when you're a star, you're a big star, people don't want to say anything to you because they might have things that they're going through too, or they're doing, and they don't want people to say things to them. But he just generally shows me that he was a nice person, but once he got involved with alcohol and drugs, he was a different person. He goes, that's all I wanted. He goes, did you notice I don't have a wife? And I don't have even a divorce. I don't have children. And I said, yeah, that's sad. A lot of people think that's sad. And he was like, no, Katrina, in a way it's not sad. He goes, why would I want them to see me like that? Why would I want to bring more people into the world and disappoint them? He goes, it's because I never had a chance to even get that part of my life, because it was always chasing the drink, it was always chasing the drugs. And he said, he goes, one thing I'm proud of myself for, he goes, I did try to get sober. I did try, and he did. He goes, but the last thing, he goes, there was too much damage. He's showing me, like, he's pointing to his heart. And he's actually pointing to his esophagus as well. He was like, like, you could see that I was out of shape the last few years. He goes, you don't think I tried to fix that? He goes, you have all the money in the world. You can't fix it. Once you ruin the organs, you can't, like, turn your body into a six-pack and have, like, all these muscles. He goes, because my body was like, went through a war and came out of it several times. So each time it went through the war, each time he was in the hospital for the drugs and the alcohol and the medical problems, he said it just made my heart weaker and weaker, and the different organs weaker and weaker. So he's like, it was a mess in there. He goes, but guess what? Because I had a heart and some part of my brain, God wanted me to do the book. And I said, I thought so. I thought I was hearing about that. And he goes, he goes, Katrina, imagine writing he goes, you're a writer. And I go, oh, thank you, Matthew. Oh, my, thank you. You noticed? A lot of people don't notice that anymore. And he goes, no, you're a writer. You went to school for writing. You have your MA. Yes, true. He goes, I didn't have that. He goes, I was acting. I was, he went to school, but he was doing acting stuff. He goes, I wasn't doing anything with writing. He goes, but that was a dream of mine, because God told me one night when I wanted to drink, I wanted to fall off the wagon again, because I was like, I'm alone. Everybody's had their families, their marriages, and I'm still alone. And his last relationship broke up too. The last relationship was for 6 years. The one that was from 2006 to 2012, she has a lot to say. But he said somebody was saying, or he was very self-effacing, and he was like saying, you got the worst of me. Like, if you would have had me before the damage of the drugs and the drinking, but you got the worst of me. Like, when my organs aren't good, when I'm not, at the top of my game. And that wasn't important to her, but it was important to him. He just felt like he was holding her back in some way, and there was still some issues that he had. But his dream, like, he either had this dream or he was visited. He goes, Katrina, you know all that spooky stuff. He goes, I wasn't into that a lot of the spooky stuff, and I should have prayed more to God. but I know God was watching over me, because he goes, I should have died at 27. I just heard 27. Then again at 37. Okay? Almost died at 47. And so he said that when one of the times that he wanted to drink, and he was like, what good is having this money and being in this house but being kind of alone. And then he got the idea of, I can make my house into a halfway house. I can make my house into help people who are struggling with drugs and alcohol. And so God told him, or his angels told him. He was like, I knew it was a voice. I wasn't sure if it was God, if it was myself, if it was an angel. He goes, but it was a peaceful voice. And that voice said, you could do that. And when you do that, the more people that you help, the less likely you want to have that urge to drink again, that urge to take a pill again. Okay? And I feel he was sober when he was in the jacuzzi at his house. When he died, I feel he was sober. He was listening to some sort of music. Yeah, he said music was healing for him. And he did listen to some meditation. Because I was asking him, did you fall asleep and drown? And he was like, there was it was like somebody was squeezing his heart. And he said, I don't want to, God knew I didn't want to live in the hospital like the last time. I didn't want to live like, when you have a stroke and you have to relearn to walk and talk and do everything all over again, and somebody has to help you with the bathroom. And he goes, Katrina, I didn't want to live that way. He goes, so I felt like it was like a squeezing of my heart. And I thought to myself, I probably should have brought my water bottle or something. I don't think he had water right there, but he did have a strenuous pickleball. He played pickleball for 2 hours before he went in that jacuzzi. And when you go in the jacuzzi, it dehydrates you. Last 2 times me and Devin went in, we got sick. We got a little sick. Because I like to stay in like it's a pool, and that it's really not good, because and then I bring alcohol in it, so that's not a good thing. But he's telling me I was clean, I was sober, Katrina. It was just my time to go. But I'm saying, were you sleeping? Because I do see him go like this, and then kind of going under the water with those headphones on. Did the headphones make you tired? Like, was you listening to meditation music that put you to sleep? And I'm not getting a clear answer on that, but he's showing me that his heart went like, it felt like somebody took a firecracker and stuck it in your heart. And then he said after that he saw light, like just light, all different colors, light, like the colors of the chakras. And he's just thinking it as, looking at it as a dream, a type of dream. Okay. Oh, okay. And then he says he sees himself above his body, and he's thinking, why am I looking down at myself? And then he was like, wow, what a view. This is a nice view over here. But he's at a different angle. He's above his body. And then he's like, oh, okay, poor guy. Poor guy. And then he saw the people coming. He saw the people, I think it was his assistant or something, that just had left to go on an errand. Some people think that that was some kind of setup. I don't. And was it Matthew? No, he was like, not that I know about. He said it was very usual for him to do this. To play, he was trying, he goes, one thing, I was being too strenuous with the pickleball. He goes, I knew that I was going to be promoting my book more, He was happy about that. It was a dream come true. He goes, Katrina, I never thought I could do it. He goes, you know how hard it is when you get writer's block and when you're trying to write. He goes, especially me, he goes, a lot of times I felt like my brain was fried. But something in me said, you have to do it. You just have to do it, because that book will help so many people, even if it just helped one person. Imagine that. Imagine your words, your book giving somebody hope, one person hope. He goes, that feels better to me than all the Friends shows that I did, all the shows that I made somebody laugh. I rather help somebody with their sobriety, and their journey, back to sobriety, and to let them know I was such a hopeless case, and even I was able to get sober, even if it was just sometimes of my life. But he goes, I really believe God saved me. Jesus saved me those few times that I should have been dead. He was like, I'm a walking dead man. He goes, not anymore. Now I'm just flying. Now I'm flying. But you're not an angel. No. He goes, oh, no. But he goes, I saw myself in my life review. I saw myself as a little boy. Yeah. He goes, you know what life is all about? Life is all about people. And your family and your friends. Because it doesn't matter about the success. It doesn't matter about the big houses. It matters about who you love and who you're hanging out with and making. He goes, that's why I was so happy when it was even happier for me rather than being in a relationship. He goes, when I did those halfway houses, he let people in his own house to help them with their sobriety. Yeah. Get more spiritual. He just said that. There's a lot of things coming in. What do you mean get more spiritual? Have more conversations with God. And then he goes, and I started towards the end, like, God, how can I help? He didn't even care about himself anymore. He was like, he wanted to live long enough to help other people with their drinking problem, their drug problem. And he goes, I feel bad that I went into people's houses and stole their medication. They didn't deserve that. Even if they were rich, they didn't deserve that. He goes, I probably should have went to jail for that. He goes, I can't now. But he goes, trust me, the hell that I went through was jail enough. Because he really does have a good heart. He is a good guy. And he just treasures his friendships from childhood, his mother, his father. He wanted to spend more time with them. And okay, I'm going to say something that a lot of people from divorced families say. And it's not to make them feel bad, but he wished that they would have tried harder to stay together. Because I think he was the only child. But he wished that they were together more. They stayed together more. Yeah, that was his wish. I mean, a lot of people kids from divorced families would say that. And not that he didn't like his stepfather, but he just wanted his mother and his father, biological mother and biological father, to be in the same room and be with him. And he said he still watches them. He watches over them. He goes, now I could see them anytime I want. I think there might be something with a will, a problem with his will. But he's like, they'll hash it out. It's not what's important. What is important is that he wants his name to go on. He wants his name and organizations and any money maybe that he has, if they have to sell his house or whatever, to be made into like places, the Matthew Perry foundations, that people who want to get sober and people who have no money. He doesn't want it just to be for the rich. He wants it to be for everybody, even if you don't have money. So you need more of that. Yeah, and he goes, it's a whole chemical education. It's an education with the mind, body, and the spirit. He goes, I'm learning about that now. I'm learning about it over here. He goes, I knew some of the stuff, and I wrote that in my book. He goes, but when I came over, the reason why if you're an addict or an alcoholic and you go back to it, is because you get a trigger and you get a feeling of sadness, or sometimes it's happy. Because I myself could, I have to watch my drinking, but I could drink when I'm happy. Okay? I can drink when I'm sad, but I could also drink when I'm happy. Hey, let's celebrate. Okay? But he's saying that there's a chemical thing in the mind of an alcoholic, in the mind of a drug addict. There's a chemical reaction that wouldn't be with the average person. So there's some kind of chemistry that goes on, and that's why it's not your fault. But more education has to be put on. And he goes, and of course now, with this generation, we have the fentanyl, and people, teenagers or whatever, trying one pill one time, and it's killing them. So he's like, that's a whole other ball game, you know. But he's like, yeah, we have to make more of drug and alcohol issues in this world, and really care for each other. Okay, now I'll just show you the cards that I have, because this is going on way too long, and I got some stuff to do. Okay, so when I was first doing these cards, I was asking like if there was anything involved in Matthew Perry's death, like did anybody kill him, which I don't think. And then he kept telling me, well, go with what you have been thinking all along, because I had my take on it maybe 2 days after it happened. So I got despair, and I feel this is him. Okay? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the night, we are in our own bodies and minds. So if we don't feel right in your body or your mind, something is off. If something is off, we have to fix it. We have to try to get around people who love us and cherish us and will help us, and not just tell us, have a happy vibe. Okay? Right? Raise your vibration. No, we have to find out what's lowering our vibration, what hurt our heart, what hurt our soul, and fix it, or try to fix it, and have peace with it. Then we can go up. But there was still some despair and regret that he had. Yeah, and he just told me, Katrina, I was done with that shell. The shell that I was given, I kind of ruined it. And it's so much easier. Please know that he goes, nothing hurts. My blood pressure is beautiful. It's not too high. It's not too low. I'm just in spirit. I'm in spirit. And I feel loved. I feel I could see the love. And he goes, I don't want you to cry. He goes, just work on helping somebody. Help one person that you know is involved with addiction. Because if that person knows that they can reach out to you and not be judged, and they can reach out to you and just talk to you about what they've been going through without the judgment, without you saying, hey, I'm going to put you in jail for, freebasing. whatever. Okay, I'm not trying to make it into a joke, but he's saying funny things to me. But yeah, he's just saying reach out to somebody, that one person or two people, whatever, somebody that comes to you or that you know is struggling. You could see they're going down a wrong path. And just be there for them. Because our life is so busy, and everybody's trying to pay their bills, and everybody's trying to work, everybody's trying to, keep it moving. And he goes, there's a lot of people that can't keep it moving. And your phone call or your text or your dropping by their house or apartment might mean the world. Okay, I got courthouse. This is why I think there's going to be something legal that they're going to, a few people might be fighting over. Unless he puts something in his last girlfriend's name, everything might go on his mother and father. But he definitely, I don't know if he wrote it, but I think he says it in his book. He wants his estate, or most of his estate, to go to Michael Perry. Maybe they were going to name him Michael. Matthew Perry Foundation. But there will be some court papers going on. Then I got the gift. Okay. So I said, what do you mean by this card, MP? And he said, well, clearly I had a gift from God several times in my life. And he goes, sometimes it was my comedic, how I had a good comedic timing, and, I wanted to be an actor, and that's what I did, and I was on the big screen. He goes, I was better on the small screen, but I did make it to the big screen. And he says, sometimes he feels like he didn't use his gift for good. Okay? Towards the end he did, but he's like, if you get a gift from God, make sure, be careful how you use it. He goes, I didn't nurture my body. I tore my body up, and I wish I would have treasured my body and my mind, because that was the gift that I got from God. But God helped him. God never left his side. Helped him so that he can get that role. He helped him so that he can be on the big screen. And he did have, fortune and fame and fortune. But he also, the biggest thing he did was learn a lot of stuff about addiction, and he wanted to share it with others. And that's when he opened his house up, and when he wrote the book too, because he's telling me it was so hard, and he feels like that was a great accomplishment, and he felt great when he was talking about his book. And I am going to buy that book. I will be buying that book. Even though I'm very bad with reading, carrying through with reading, I will buy that book, because every time you buy his book, the money will go to the foundation. And also, I would like to know what he has in it. The gift. Okay. And then I got 3 unicorn cards. The first one was, I said, Matthew Perry, what would you like to, Chandler Bing, what would you like to show the Mystic Brady Bunch? I kept saying the Mystic Brady Bunch. And he was like, there's a story of a lovely lady, of a lovely psychic. Okay, so he's still funny. Okay, invisibility. Take off your cloak of invisibility and let your light be seen. Take off your cloak of invisibility and let your light be seen. Okay, so he's showing me, like, I tried to hide it. I wasn't fooling many people. He goes, but for many years, nobody bothered me about it, because, like, you know how your mom or your dad will call you out, or your best friend will call you out? He said, I had some of that. He goes, but I kept on hiding things and thinking that I'll just keep this secret. And he goes, I was scared to tell people that I think about it all the time. You know, like other people, they'll think about their kids and their spouse and their, you know, let me clean up my house and let me get to work on time. He goes, I thought about my next drink or my next pill. And so he's saying, now take off the cloak of invisibility and let yourself be known. Let your light be seen. I think that's a beautiful message. Thank you, Matthew. And then I got seeking good, which I thought this was so spot on from him. Look for good in your current situation. Okay. So he's like, I'm ashamed of myself, but I did apologize to God when I got over here, because he went through his life review and they showed him like sitting in a beautiful mansion type of house, and he wasn't happy. He had a cup, he had a bottle. Look, you could see it. And he's like, geez, why aren't I happy? He had all the money that he can use, and he still was not happy, right? So look at the good in your life and the people that are around you. He could have went to them and asked them for a little help, right? He finally did, but like in his 20s, in his 30s, he needed to do it then, because all the damage of his organs was getting worse and worse. So like, in other words, like he's wishing he would, if he seeked help sooner, saw the good that he had around him, instead of like saying, oh, I'm so dissatisfied, let me go take a pill, let me go have a drink, because here it looks like I have everything. I have a great job, I'm loved by a lot of people, I'm really funny, I'm very good at my job, I'm good at my work, I have a gift, and then there's still this emptiness, because it's a disease. And so what he's learning is how he should have, a little bit should have been okay. A little bit. He should have cherished what he had around him and who he had around him a little bit more. But he was very self-effacing. He was like, oh, well, yeah, I don't want to bother anybody. I don't want to make anybody feel stressed out about me. I wanted to try to fix it myself. And then we know what happened. Then he has blessings. The last card is blessings. Count your blessings and the good in your life will multiply. So by seeking the good, look for the good in your current situation. He wants you to do that right now. Me to do that. You guys to do that. Everybody in the Mystic Brady Bunch. Anybody who comes across this video. Matthew L. Perry wants you to seek the good. Look for the good in your life right now. I don't care if you don't even own a house and you're in an apartment. Look at something that is really great in that apartment, okay? And if you're at a job and you don't really like the job, look at something that you do like. Does it help you pay your bills? Yes, it does, okay? And then, but look at what's good already. And then this being the follow-up card, count your blessings and the good in your life will multiply. So already look at what you have and who you have in your life that you love, your friends, your family, your house, your home, your apartment, your condo. I love my car. You know, it's not a fancy car, it's a 2012. But I love it because it gets me from place to place and I can sit, meditate in it, and feel good. Okay? And watch your blessings multiply if you do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to come back because I do have some news, but I want that to be a separate video, and I got to change my spot. Okay? I got to get out of here, go for a little walk, and then I'll come back and I'll tell you my news. It's not big news, but it's just, you know, Mystic Brady stuff. And I love you guys, and I hope that and I want to thank, I was going to say Michael again. I want to thank you, Matthew Perry. Matt Perry. Matman. He used to call himself Matman because he was obsessed with Batman. And a lot of people think that he was trying to reach out by showing the bat signal to everybody. I think it was just that was a symbol of him, and he wanted to help people. He wanted to save people. And you know what? His body wore out. I feel that. I feel the heart like this, like somebody squeezing your heart, taking a firecracker and sticking it inside the heart. That's what I feel. And it was like, he goes, it was fast. Katrina, it was fast. 1 minute I was just listening to my tunes, relaxing. And the next minute I'm I see the fireworks in my mind, different colors of all the chakras. Little dark blue, light blue, indigo. I think he likes blue. Do you like blue? Okay. You could stay with me if you want. If you have any more messages, you could stay with me because I don't feel like you left. So that's okay. You want to come for a ride along. Anyway, thank you, Matthew Perry, for letting me talk to you and tell a little piece of your story. And I wish you rest in peace. And I will get your book, and I will tell people I think they should buy your book and read your book. Yeah, you got to read it. I might get the book on tape because I'm an auditory learner, but I will get the actual book. I will, I promise, because there's something on page 199 or 198 that you keep telling me about. So I don't even have the book, so I don't know. Anyhow, I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste. Rest in peace, Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing.